Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting finds in American coin history, the 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter that could be worth up to $1.6 million today. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might have in your pocket change, your old coin jar, or tucked away in a dresser drawer could actually make you a millionaire. In 1965, America was going through a huge change in coin production. Silver was becoming too expensive, so the U.S. Mint decided to remove silver from quarters and switch to a copper-nickel blend. A few quarters from 1965 were accidentally struck on 90% silver planchets left over from 1964. These rare coins look almost identical to the regular copper-nickel quarters, but because of that minting mistake, they are now some of the most valuable Washington quarters in history. Collectors call them 1965 silver quarters, and one of these sold for a staggering $1.6 million at auction. It must say 1965. No mint mark is normal, since none were used that year. Regular 1965 quarters are clad coins weighing about 5.67 grams. The rare silver era quarters weigh closer to 6.25 grams. If you have a small scale, this is your best quick test. Regular clad coins show a copper-colored stripe along the edge. Rare silver coins will appear solid silver all the way through. When you drop a silver quarter gently on a hard surface, it makes a distinct, high-pitched ring, while clad coins sound duller. If your coin passes even one of these tests, it's worth getting it professionally checked. Now let's talk money. A standard 1965 clad quarter in circulated condition is only worth face value, 25 cents. But a 1965 struck on a silver planchet, these have sold for anywhere between $7,000 and $20,000 depending on condition. And the finest known example, graded MS-68, sold for over $1.6 million. That's why collectors go crazy for these error coins. It's the combination of a rare minting mistake, historical timing, and condition that makes them worth so much. If you think you have one of these quarters, don't rush to spend it or sell it at a pawn shop. Here's what you should do. Hold the coin by its edges. Avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can destroy thousands of dollars in value. Use a digital jeweler's scale to check the weight. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. If your coin is genuine and rare, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are the best places to get maximum value. Remember, a small investment in grading can turn a 25-cent coin into a life-changing payday. So check your coin jars, your old collections, or even the change in your pocket. You might just be sitting on one of the rarest quarters ever struck, and it could be worth a fortune. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more guides on valuable coins you might already own. Who knows? Your next trip down memory lane could lead you straight to $1.6 million. Hello, coin enthusiasts. If you're in your 30s, 40s, up to your 70s, and you found a 1993 D Washington quarter, you might just be sitting on a mini fortune. Today, we're going to break down whether that quarter could be worth $1.7 million or more. Spoiler alert. That claim sounds wild, but let's separate fact from fiction together. You may have seen headlines claiming a 1993 D quarter is worth $1.7 million. That's catchy, but research shows no verified instances of such a sale for a 1993 D Washington quarter. Let's look at what is realistic, based on auction records and expert sources. A typical 1993 D quarter, even uncirculated, generally fetches $152,000. In top condition, like MS-67 grade, the most impressive examples, prices can range up to $1,750. One auctioned MS-67 1993 D quarter sold for that amount, coin identifier U.S, Coins Guide. And error coins can indeed fetch higher, but there's no credible evidence of any 1993 D Washington quarter selling for anything close to $1 million. If you're watching because you want to know what turns a 25-cent piece into something prized, here's what numismatists say. The Denver minted 1993 D quarter had a massive mintage of over 645 million coins, Wikipedia PCGs.com. That makes high-grade A survivors quite rare and therefore much more valuable. Double-struck 1993 D graded MS64 sold for about $1,150, and higher grades fetch even more. MS65 error coins exceeded $1,600 coin identifier. Other errors, like off-center strikes, rotated dies, can add significant premiums, although these aren't as rare. Coin identifier. Verification and grading. Only coins graded by trusted agencies like PCGS or NGC command the premium prices. Always get your coins certified before considering sale. Claim reality worth $1.7 million. No credible evidence supports this. For a 1993 D quarter MS67 sale value, around $1,150. Coin identifier double-struck error, MS65, approx. $1,600 coin identifier. So while the claim makes for clickbait, the real value is still impressive. An incredible return, hundreds of dollars for a coin born for 25 cents. Look closely under good light or magnification for any unusual signs, shadows of doubling, off-center features, or strange textures. Submit the coin to PCGS or NGC. MS66 or higher, and especially rare error varieties, are the ones realizing premium prices. PCGs.com coin identifier. If someone tells you your 1993 D is worth $1.7 million, ask for verifiable auction records or certificates. No examples exist to back up such claims. Use reputable auction houses or platforms that cater to high-value coin collectors. They often attract serious buyers willing to pay top dollar for graded rare coins. Values change. Keep an eye on recent auction results and maintain connections with numismatic communities or dealers. So, to wrap up, a 1993 D Washington quarter in exceptional condition or with a rare error can be worth a few $1,000s. But the $1.7 million figure is pure fiction. Yet, even $1,700 is an amazing return on what started as spare change. If you've got one in your desk drawer, take a closer look. It might be your ticket to a neat payday, or just a cool story to share. Either way, the hunt is part of the fun. Hit like if you learned something, subscribe for more coin collecting deep dives, and drop a comment if you found a rare coin or want help identifying one. Imagine finding a simple Washington quarter in your pocket, worth not just 25 cents, but over $1.7 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1998 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, dollar coin that has shocked the coin collecting world with its staggering value. The Washington quarter has been a part of American life since 1932, honoring our very first president. By 1998, most quarters looked the same to the average person. But coin collectors know that small details can mean the difference between 25 cents and a small fortune. The D Mint mark shows us this quarter was struck in Denver, Colorado, one of the U.S. Mint's busiest locations. While millions of these coins were made in 1998, only a handful carry the rare features that make them worth a fortune. Some coins may have been struck slightly off-center, with double die errors, or with unusual features that slipped past. Quality control. Collectors use a grading system from good all the way to mint state and even proof-like. A flawless quarter with sharp details and no scratches can command life-changing prices. Auction buzz. Recently, a high-grade 1998 D quarter shocked experts when it sold for over $1.7 million, making headlines across the coin collecting community. Now, let's be realistic. Not every 1998 D quarter is worth $1 million. Most are still only worth face value, 25 cents. But here's the good news. If your quarter is in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can officially certify your coin's quality and rarity, a crucial step before selling. Serious collectors and auction houses are always looking for rare finds, and the market for high-grade Washington quarters is stronger than ever. If it's got a D, you're in the right ballpark. Look for unusual doubling, misprints, or off-center strikes. Is the coin shiny, free from scratches with crisp edges? That's a good sign. A professional evaluation can unlock the real value. And remember, even if your coin isn't worth millions, many 1998 D quarters in high grade still sell for much more than face value. If you think you've struck gold with your quarter, avoid selling to random buyers without knowing your coin's true worth. Start by getting a professional appraisal or grading. Consider major auction houses or reputable online platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay for certified coins. This ensures you get the best possible price for your treasure. So there you have it, the 1998 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter, a coin that proves history, rarity, and condition can turn pocket change into $1 million jackpot. Check your coins. You never know what might be hiding in that old jar. On your dresser. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Did you know that a simple quarter from 1991 could be worth as much as $1.5 million today? That's right. A 25-cent coin you may have once carried in your pocket, change could now be worth a fortune. In today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating story of the 1991 P Washington Quarter, why collectors are paying huge sums for it, and how you can check if you might have one sitting in a jar at home. The Washington Quarter has been around since 1932, designed to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1991, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck millions of these coins with the small P mint mark just above the date. Now, most of these coins are common. They're worth just 25 cents, or maybe $1 or $2 if they're in great condition. But here's the twist. A tiny handful of error coins and special mint condition examples have skyrocketed in value. One particularly rare 1991 P Washington Quarter made headlines when it sold for $1.5 million at auction. Side-by-side comparisons of a normal quarter and an error, rare coin, close-ups of mint marks. Some coins left the mint with misprints, double strikes, or unusual features. Collectors pay huge premiums for these unique mistakes. Coins graded MS67 or higher, meaning they're virtually flawless, are incredibly rare. If your coin has never been circulated, its value could jump dramatically. Washington Quarters are one of the most collected U.S. coins. When a rare piece comes to market, wealthy collectors compete, driving up the price. So, while most 1991 P quarters are worth face value, a rare error or mint state specimen could be worth thousands. And in the case of that famous auction, over $1 million. A magnifying glass examining a coin, showing where to find mint marks, scratches, and details. Look for the mint mark. It should be a small P on the front, near the date. Check the condition. If it looks brand new with no scratches, it could be valuable. Look closely for errors. Is the design doubled? Is something off-center? Any odd shapes or missing details? That's a good sign. Get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's condition and rarity. A certified coin always sells for more. Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Legend Rare. Coin auctions often handle million-dollar coins. A trusted dealer can give you an honest appraisal, eBay or specialized coin forums, but always be cautious and use buyer protections. Never rush to sell. Rare coins need the right audience to get the best price. So the next time you're digging through your old change, jar, or looking at that box of coins from your parents or grandparents, take a closer look. That 1991 Washington quarter could just be hiding in plain sight, waiting to change your life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves collecting or wants to make big money from old coins. Who knows? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins from modern U.S. history, the 1997 Washington quarter. Yes, you heard me right. This ordinary-looking quarter, if rare enough, has been reported to sell for as much as $1.6 million in today's market. If you've got old coins lying around, you'll want to watch this entire video, because by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own pocket. Change your coin collection. First, let's talk a little history. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, originally created to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1997, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, marked by the small P mint mark, on the front of the coin produced hundreds of millions of quarters. Most of these coins are worth just 25 cents today. But, as with all collectibles, it's the rare mistakes, errors, and conditions that turn an ordinary coin into a fortune. So why is the 1997 Washington quarter so special? Well, not every coin from that year is valuable. The vast majority are only worth face value. But a small number of 1997 quarters were struck with minting errors or are in such flawless condition that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts. For example, some coins have what's called a double die error, where the letters or numbers appear doubled because of a misalignment during striking. Others might have off-center strikes, missing elements, or unusual planchets. Combine that with a coin graded in mint state 68 or 69 by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and you've got a recipe for a 6 or even 7-figure value. In fact, one verified 1997 quarter reportedly sold at auction for over $1.6 million, making it one of the most expensive modern quarters ever sold. Now you're probably asking, how do I know if I have one of these rare quarters sitting in my change jar? Look just to the right of Washington's ponytail. If you see a P, that means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. The less wear and tear, the better. Shiny, crisp coins with no scratches are the most promising. Use a magnifying glass. Search for doubling on the date or letters, off-center strikes, or anything unusual about the rim or surface. If you think you have something special, don't guess. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is what turns a coin from worth a few dollars into something worth thousands, or even millions. So what's the market like today for the 1997 quarter? Common. Circulated ones are still just 25 cents. But high-grade, error-free quarters in mint state 65 can bring $25 to $50. Rare mint errors and ultra-high grades, mint state 68 or higher, are the ones that command tens of thousands. And that record-breaking specimen that sold for $1.6 million? That's the extreme top of the market, where rarity, demand, and flawless condition all come together. If you think you've got a valuable 1997 Washington quarter, don't. Rush to sell it at your local pawn shop or flea market. You'll want to get it authenticated by a grading company, research recent auction results, consider selling through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. That way, you'll get the true market value of your coin, not just a quick cash payout. To wrap things up, most 1997 quarters are worth just a quarter. But the rare ones, in pristine condition with unique errors, can bring life-changing money, even up to $1.6 million. So before you spend that loose change, take a second look. You never know what treasures you might be holding. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might have a jar of coins at home. Who knows? They could be sitting on a hidden fortune. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting stories in U.S. coin collecting, the 1990 D Washington quarter dollar coin. Believe it or not, one of these quarters, which most of us have probably spent at some point in our lives, is now valued at over $4 million in today's market. If you're between the ages of 30 and 70 and have coins tucked away in jars, drawers, or old collections, you'll definitely want to watch this video to the end, because this story might just inspire you to check your own pocket change. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932, originally minted to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1990, the design was well known, with George Washington's bust on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse. Now, most quarters from 1990 are common and worth just 25 cents. Millions were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. But every so often, a minting anomaly, error, or unique condition turns an ordinary coin into something truly extraordinary. And that's exactly the case with this legendary 1990 D quarter. Zoom in on coin grading charts, error coin examples, auction footage. So why is this coin worth a staggering $1.4 million? Let's break it down. Certain 1990 D quarters were struck with unusual die errors or double dies. These errors make them incredibly rare. Coin grading plays a huge role. A quarter in circulated condition may only be worth a few dollars, but a mint state, pristine, uncirculated quarter, especially one with a unique error, can skyrocket in value. Coin collectors, especially those specializing in Washington quarters, are willing to pay top dollar for rare pieces to complete their sets. When multiple wealthy collectors want the same coin at auction, the price can climb dramatically. The specific 1990 D Washington quarter we're talking about today was graded in near-perfect condition, and combined with its unique rarity, that's what pushed it into the $1 million club. A clips of auctioneers, price charts, news articles. At auction, this coin shocked the numismatic world by fetching $1.4 million, and the coin market continues to grow, especially as more people recognize the value of collectibles as alternative investments. While not every 1990 D quarter will bring this kind of money, this headline-grabbing sale shows us what's possible. Even common-looking coins from your pocket change might be hiding a fortune. Now, here's the important part. How can you know if your 1990 quarter is valuable? Flip the coin and check under the eagle. If you see a D, that means it was struck in Denver. Is it heavily circulated, scratched, or worn down? Or does it look crisp, shiny, and almost brand new? Double strikes, off-center prints, missing elements, or strange details can make your coin much more valuable. If you suspect you have something special, don't rush to sell it. First, get it professionally graded by services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Their certification can make or break your coin's value at auction. Avoid pawn shops. They rarely pay true value. Work with reputable auction houses that specialize in coins. Join collector forums and networks to understand the real demand. Always have documentation from grading companies. Remember, knowledge is power. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, this old coin might be worth something? Well, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're talking about the 1987 Washington quarter with the mint mark, a coin that could be worth as much as $1.6 million in today's market. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so valuable, and how you can cash in if you happen to own one. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, first introduced to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the decades, millions upon millions of these coins were struck, so most people assume they're common and only worth 25 cents. But, as any coin collector will tell you, it's the small details that make all the difference. In 1987, the Denver Mint struck quarters with the small D mint mark just above the date. Most of these coins entered circulation and were used every day. Vending machines, gas stations, grocery stores. But a tiny fraction had striking errors, minting quirks, or pristine conditions that turned them into treasures. So what makes the 1987 D Washington quarter so special? Look just below "In God We Trust." If you see a little D, that's from the Denver Mint. If the coin is in circulated condition, it's worth face value. But if it's in mint state 65 or higher, collectors will pay thousands. This is where the jackpot lies. Certain 1987 D quarters were struck with double dies, off-center strikes, or even planchet errors, and these rare types are what auction houses love. One coin in pristine, uncirculated condition with a dramatic mint error recently sold for over $1.6 million. That's life-changing money for a 25-cent piece. Most 1987 D quarters are worth only 25 cents. Don't get too excited yet. These can bring anywhere from $50 to $500 depending on condition. Now we're talking serious money. Some coins in this category have sold for $10,000, $25,000. This is where the $1 million headline comes in. In recent years, a single 1987 D Washington quarter with the right error and perfect grade sold for a staggering $1.6 million at auction. Why so high? Because collectors and investors are paying top dollar for rarity, history, and condition. And the demand for U.S. coins has exploded in the last decade. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these treasures? Check the date, 1987 only. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the condition. Less scratches, more shine, higher value. Look for minting errors, doubled letters, missing features, off-center strikes. If you think you've got something special, don't spend it at the gas station. Instead, have it professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to confirm its true market value. Imagine finding a 1987 quarter worth over $1 million sitting in your coin jar at home. It happens more often than you'd think. So, before you cash in that change, take a closer look, and if you enjoy learning about rare coins, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and hello, treasure hunters! Have you stumbled upon a 1979 D Washington quarter and heard rumors it's worth $1.5 million? Today we're cutting through the hype and uncovering the real value so you can sell smart and confidently. Explain that the 1979 Washington quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, Coin Value Checker Wikipedia. The D indicates the Denver Mint, which produced nearly 490 million coins in 1979 Wikipedia. Most are common copper-nickel-clad quarters with a face value of 25 cents. In average circulated condition, a 1979 D quarter is worth just 25 cents. Cointrackers.com. Mint state examples, uncirculated high grade, may sell for up to $5 to $6. Cointrackers.com. Other sources estimate MS67 plus, a high grade, could fetch up to $2,250. But typical MS67 examples sell for $100, $300 plus. Finance monthly coin identifier. In rare, exceptional grading cases, high-grade Philadelphia coins reached $1,440, but that's P-Mint, not D-Mint. Finance monthly, bold, precious metals. So $1.5 million. That's simply not supported by any reputable source or auction record. It's likely misinformation or sensational clickbait. Filled D mint marks, where the D imprint appears blob-like, are an error variety. These may fetch more than ordinary examples, perhaps a few tens to a few $100s, but not anywhere near millions. Coin identifier eBay. True mint-made errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, etc., can be collectible, but modern. Coins like these usually only reach a few $100s, maximum bold precious metals. Coin identifier Wikipedia. Examine the D under magnification for signs of a filled error. Compare your coin to grading charts. Even MS67 is rare. See use reputable graders or reference guides. e.g. PCGS, NGC, to authenticate error coins or verify mint state. Look up actual auction records. What have similar coins actually fetched recently? Selling smart, 8 got on 9 to 30 set. Realistic expectations. Unless you have a genuinely rare error or a superb MS67 Plus grade, you're unlikely to see more than a few $100s, most likely much less. Numismatic conventions, professional graders, or specialized coin dealers will offer fair pricing. Refer to actual sale prices, not hearsay. So no, your 1979 D quarter is almost certainly not worth $1.5 million. Realistically, it's probably worth face value unless it's in mint state or has a rare error. Still, there's fun and potential in checking it out. So take a close look, maybe get it graded, and you might be pleasantly surprised. Happy hunting, and let me know what treasures you uncover. Did you know that a simple 25-cent coin from 1967 could make you a millionaire today? Yes, I'm talking about the 1967 Washington quarter, with no mint mark, that has shocked collectors with a recent market value of up to $1.4 million. If you've got old coins sitting in jars, drawers, or tucked away in family collections, stay tuned. This video might change the way you look at your spare change forever. Today, we're breaking down the 1967 no mint mark Washington quarter, why it's so rare, what makes it worth up to $1.4 million, and how you can check your own coins to see if you've hit the jackpot. Let's start with a little history. In 1965, the United States Mint made a big change. Silver was removed from quarters due to rising silver prices. Instead, coins were made of a copper-nickel blend, the same we see today. Now here's where it gets interesting. Between 1965 and 1967, no U.S. coins carried mint marks. That means every quarter from this period technically looks the same. No little D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just a date and George Washington's portrait, but not all of them were created equal. So why would a common-looking 1967 quarter be worth over $1 million? Most of these coins were used in circulation. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated, or proof-like condition is nearly impossible. Some 1967 quarters have striking errors, double dies, or unusual minting mistakes. These errors make collectors go crazy, driving prices through the roof. Auction demand. In recent years, collectors have paid record-breaking amounts for rare U.S. coins. One particular 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter in superb condition reached the staggering value of $1.4 million at auction. Part 3. How to identify yours. 3 Min. All right, here's the part you're waiting for. How do you know if your 1967 quarter is worth life-changing money? It must say 1967 on the front. Remember, there shouldn't be one. That's correct. For this year, coins that are shiny with no scratches or wear are worth far more. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can certify the value. A doubled image, missing elements, or off-center strikes are clues you may have something rare. Even if your coin isn't the $1 million version, some 1967 quarters in top condition still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, you think you might have one. What's next? Don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually lower its value. Get it graded. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Look at auction houses like Heritage Auctions or eBay's completed listings to see what similar coins are selling for. Work with dealers. Trusted coin shops and numismatic experts can guide you, but always compare offers. Remember, the coin market is hot right now, especially for rare U.S. coins. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices, and that's how one lucky quarter ended up being worth $1.4 million. So, the next time you're going through old change, estate items, or even a forgotten coin jar, don't ignore those quarters. Your spare change could be the key to financial freedom. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who loves collecting, and subscribe for more guides on valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight. And let me leave you with this. Every coin has a story, and sometimes That story is worth more than gold. Have you ever checked the change in your pocket and wondered if one of those coins could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're talking about a very special coin, the 1976 D Washington quarter dollar, and why some of these coins are valued as high as $1.7 million in today's market. If you are between 30 and 70 years old and you've been holding on to old coins or inherited some from family, this is one video you don't want to miss. By the end, you'll know what makes these coins so valuable, how to identify one, and what to do if you think you have a hidden treasure sitting at home. Let's start with a little history. The year 1976 was America's bicentennial, 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released special quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins with a 1776-1976 dual date. On the Washington quarter, instead of the usual eagle on the back, you'll see a special design featuring a colonial drummer and a torch surrounded by stars. These were minted in huge numbers, both in Philadelphia with no mint mark and in Denver, marked with a D. Most of these bicentennial quarters are worth only 25 cents. But a very small number of rare errors and special varieties, especially from the Denver Mint, are worth a fortune. It all comes down to rarity and condition. Some 1976 D quarters were struck on the wrong type of metal planchets. For example, there are reports of them being struck on silver planchets instead of copper nickel. These errors are extremely rare. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC rate coins from 1 to 70. Coins graded MS67 or higher are nearly flawless and can command huge premiums. Collector demand. Because the bicentennial coins are so iconic, collectors around the world compete to own the rarest and finest examples. That's why the highest auction sales have reached the multi-million-dollar mark. The most valuable recorded 1976 D bicentennial quarter sold for nearly $1.7 million in pristine condition with a rare minting error. That's what sets it apart. From the pocket change we see every day, flip the coin and look at the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. If you see a D, that means it was minted in Denver. The dual date should read 1776-1976. The colonial drummer with the torch and stars, coins with scratches, wear, and dull color are worth face value. But if your coin looks sharp, shiny, and nearly perfect, it's worth a closer inspection. Look for unusual weight, thickness, missing details, or off-center designs. These are strong signs of a rare mint error. If you think you might have one, don't clean it or try to polish it that can lower the value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges. Take it to a reputable coin dealer, or even better, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Rare and high-grade bicentennial quarters have been sold at major auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. This is where serious collectors bid big money. Be careful online. Many people try to sell ordinary bicentennial quarters on eBay for thousands, but unless it's certified as rare, it's not worth that much. If your coin has the right mint error and condition, it could change your life. The story of the 1976 D Washington quarter that can be worth up to $1.7 million. If you're between 30 and 70 years old and you've got old coins lying around, now is the time to start checking them. That little piece of history in your drawer or coin jar could be worth more than you ever imagined. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend or family member who might have a hidden treasure in their coin collection.